So now we're going to look at our refineries or our downstream environment, right? The processing of our hydrocarbons in the refineries is the final process before it goes out to our consumer. Now, as you know, the refineries are complex assets with a lot of heat sources, a lot of high pressure systems, a lot of piping work. These are immense systems with a lot of manpower. So it's important that it needs to be safety critical. So how can drones support this? Well, first of all, in our chemical plants, we need to be able to look for what we call for loss of energy. Now, loss of energy means we're losing energy. We could be losing heat in our operation system, in our piping system. Now, traditionally, how would we find that? Well, we could have some alarm systems. We could have some cameras picking this up. Not the most effective. We do visual observations. Now, using a thermal imaging camera, we can actually fly and we can get heat signatures over this operational environment, over the system, the operational system, and we can see temperature differences. We've been very successful at finding steam leaks in chemical plants where steam is actually leaking out. There's going to be a temperature difference, and the actual thermal imaging camera will pick up that temperature and actually see the steam on the thermal imaging camera. So we look for loss of energy, right? At the same token, we need to make sure our hydrocarbons are not leaking. Fire and explosion are detrimental to our industry when it comes to our refineries. We can now do monitoring flights. Instead of having a manned technician or a two-team technician walking your installation, sometimes 60, 70, 80, 90 feet up high, right, with cameras, we now get a drone in the air at a distance using our thermal imaging camera as well as our optical gas imaging camera, where this camera can pick up in real time any leaks coming out of my asset without having anybody in harm's way. And this is without shutting down operation. I can take that data, go to the maintenance supervisor or operational manager and say, this is the data we just captured, and they can see exactly the location. We can pinpoint the GPS location exactly where this optical gas imaging camera picked up this leak or anomaly, and once again the asset owner can make an informed decision while operation is still continuing about what they want to do next. So it's all about optical gas imaging, finding leaks, and making sure you don't have too many temperature differences in your operational plan. So that's how drones are now being successfully used in our refineries and chemical plants. Right? It's a really dynamic industry, and safety is paramount, as I said, with fire and explosion. And we now have the technology to be able to do these inspections and find those anomalies before they become critical. Right? So that was an overview of the three segments we're operating in right now with our UAV or drones: our upstream environment, our midstream, and then our downstream and refinery environment. Finally, we're going to give you a look at some of the drones we use and how the technology in the drones actually work. And we feel it's important for you as our loyal customers to understand the technology we're using to support your workflow. So, see you in the next section.